Bitcoin absolutely erupting sideways harder than we've ever seen. The biggest move in history for Bitcoin is now closer than ever. Right now, the price of Bitcoin sits quite literally exactly where it was yesterday and the day before, and potentially as well even the day before. But the big news on everyone's minds here is the big Bitcoin dump or bust. And we have a few pieces of evidence and a few charts to look at to support this absolutely gigantic idea here. The first big thing happening right now, if we look at the DXY, it's actually climbing substantially for the very first time after completely and utterly getting it dumped on 1,000 trillion% since November of 2022. This is the very first time where we've actually kind of set a sustained more so uptrend, or the longest uptrend we've seen in DXY, dating all the way back to about July. So it's only right around 2 months at this point, but that's because it's been getting dumped on so much that a 2-week sustained uptrend for the DXY has been pretty rare for about the last 15 months or so. But looking at the DXY, so there is some good resistance around the 105 level, which we haven't gotten to yet. So it'll be interesting to see if we get any sort of dump here. Especially, I think the macroeconomic conditions, specifically with the Fed, are going to dictate which direction the DXY moves. And I think overall, it's very clear the longer-term trend of the next 6 to 12 months for the DXY will be down. So it's interesting seeing it right now go up. It might be its little last hurrah. It's a dead cat bounce type vibes, or potentially its last bust before turning to dust, basically. But if we also look at the stock market today, we see the SPX, NASDAQ. NASDAQ's actually up a little bit, but the SPX still, it's in a good position because it's above a lot of these key daily moving averages. If we actually go to the weekly chart, the weekly chart for the SPX also equally doesn't look that bad. It looks better than Bitcoin, to be fair. It looks better than crypto. So that's one good leading indicator to be aware of. Looking at Bitcoin's daily chart, however, actually, before we look at Bitcoin's chart, let's take a look at 2 posts here. So Mag's the Scalping Pro on Twitter highlighting that Bitcoin is currently trading below the MRC, which is the mean reversion channel. History shows that buying Bitcoin when it's trading below the MRC bands and selling when it's above has generated outsized returns. Man, we have been below the MRC for quite a long time. It's been quite a while that we've been getting completely dumped on. And the blow-off bust is coming. The big question left is, are you? And so here we look at all of these tops, these blow-off busts of Bitcoin. We are in a period that very quickly is going to transition into massive upside, in my opinion. Knowing the exact minute and day is not possible or even worth thinking about, but it could be literally any day here. When we have a lot of catalysts, why? And Stock Money Lizards highlights these very nicely. He says there are many, many catalysts that will ultimately drive price up. Do not get lulled by this mild summer correction. And that is exactly what it's been. It's been a very boring summer for Bitcoin price, for crypto price, altcoins especially also. But it's exactly what history has shown us was going to happen. And it's exactly why history is still showing us that we still have a little time of sideways boring trading, most likely, right? Still accurate, and I still believe that. I still believe we're not quite there yet. Extremely boring. But let's take a look at a couple of these here. So we've already seen the XRP lawsuit creating a price pump for XRP and crypto a little bit, and this is something in the past. Now, looking forward, here's what we have. So there's institutional traders back from holidays. There's a potential for upside moves here towards the end of summer. September, historically, however, keep in mind, is not the best month for crypto. We have Bitcoin spot approval potentials here. ETF will be a catalyst for existing crowd and attract new investors. We have the halving coming up extremely soon. Halving driving the price, making Bitcoin more scarce. Obviously, the biggest fundamental reason why I believe Bitcoin is about to pump here over the next 6 to 12 months, begin pumping. And then, improvements to the network ushered in by liquid staking on the Lightning Network. And upon ETF approval, he says, continuous cash inflow by banks buying physical Bitcoin. It really is You know, if we zoom out, or if we go back to like 2 years, when it started to become clear that the Fed was going to start raising rates and the era of free money, unlimited money, 0% interest rates was coming to an end, dark clouds absolutely were on the horizon, right? Whether you want to believe it or not, it didn't look good. And 2 years later, it turned out it wasn't good. It turns out those were very dumpy catalysts. And it took a while for us to get there. It didn't happen right away. Bitcoin sat up in this range of around 60K for, pretty much 6 entire months right around this level. And then it really started to collapse. And if we zoom to now, I think that all of the very negative things, the biggest negative things, if you put them on a piece of paper to look at, all of those are absolutely behind us. Now, I'm not saying there can't be another black swan. There can always be. But the point is here, the amount of ammo and potential very extremely positive things that are on the horizon of just the next couple of months for Bitcoin vastly outweighs the potential bad things. So again, if trading and if investing is all risk to reward ratios and stuff like that, the risk to reward, in my opinion, is extremely, extremely good right now. The last 2 years, it has been extremely, extremely bad. But just like with everything, there are waves. There are good times to buy in and bad times. Was it smart buying the top back in 2017 for Bitcoin? No. Was it smart buying back, well before that in 2015, 2016 when it was, $200-$300? Absolutely. So waves comes in waves, and we have just sat on a 2-year-long wave of dumpiness. And it's very obvious, according to every piece of data we have, that it's about to, transition, just like waves do. It cannot be down forever and it can't be up forever. And all of these charts, not much to go over here. Clearly, this is still his level. I'm waiting for something to happen. Basically, anything between these two levels, anything within this is boring and nothing. And guys, to be honest, that's why you see engagement completely gone. Nobody's paying attention. I post a video, once every 4 or 5 days, something like that, because there's simply not anything to talk about. In fact, people that are still posting videos every single day, there's no way they're saying anything. There's simply no way. And I watch some of them. They're not saying anything. It's just fun, just posting for the sake of posting. And I'm trying to do at least once or twice a week, give some updates when I think there's at least the tiniest teensy weensy little thing to update. But overall, guys, I think we're in such a good position. Such a good position. My interest in crypto has never been higher, but that doesn't mean I'm checking the charts that much. Okay. For example, how I started off the video. Look at this. What am I going to do? I'm going to check this 10 times an hour? No, it hasn't done anything. It's literally doing nothing. So even though my interest and excitement in crypto have never been higher, I'm not going to waste my time checking these charts right now. Nothing is happening. So I also don't blame people who are not engaging or interested in watching content or being on Twitter or anything like that. We all know, or most of us have a really good idea of where we are. And checking out every once in a while and enjoying other parts of your life is extremely important. For Pete's sake, you could die tomorrow. So at least do some things beside crypto. Believe me, there will be a time, I think in the very, very short future, or the very, very near future, where we're all going to be checking our portfolios every 10 seconds. It's coming, but we're not there quite yet. Take advantage of massive sign up and deposit bonuses if you're interested in trading with my links to Femex and BitGet below. It takes about 30 seconds to sign up, and if you sign up with Femex below, you also earn free XPT if you sign up with my link below and deposit and get trading. Without any further ado, it's for me.